Hello, my beautiful souls! You are watching one of the most important videos as you are about to discover how to calculate your chart. And it is important because if you are watching different prognoses and predictions and you are interested to learn what are the positions in your chart, then you need to know how does your chart look like. My name is Sasha, I'm a Vedic astrologer and psychologist, and we are about to discover what kind of interesting soul you are. So, you need to go to a website, vedichoro.com, and we will explore two options: when you know your time of birth and when you don't know your time of birth. And this situation happens especially if you are spying on someone, because usually people know their date of birth and their place of birth, but with timing it's sometimes confusing. And yes, it happens, maybe there are no records about the time, or maybe your parents already passed away, so there is no choice to ask them. It's okay, you still can discover a lot from your chart even without knowing the exact time of birth. So let's start with the most complicated situation. We're going to go through the option when you don't know the time of birth. Let's type an example and let's check the 1st of January 2024. And here with the timing, we will just put 12, and that's going to be 12 p.m. So it's noon. Let's say we're just taking the middle between midnight and midnight, so it's gonna be midday, noon. Then let's put in a location, maybe London, England, and calculate. Here we go. We got our crazy, weird squares and numbers and what to do with all that, but don't worry, it's not as scary as it looks. Again, we are talking about the chart when we don't know the time of birth, so we cannot say what's going to be the rising sign, ascendant, but we can say what's going to be the moon sign. And yes, I'm specifically pointing out to the moon sign because it brings much more influence than sun sign. So technically, first of all, it's going to be the rising sign and then moon sign, let's say like 40-50%, and then it's going to be sun sign. And there are like other different charts that we can create, so each one less. But what I'm trying to say that the moon sign and moon chart is also very, very important when you are analyzing the chart and the life of the person, the personality itself. So yes, we always need to look at where moon is located. So here we're looking at moon, and then we can see that moon is in Leo. We can find moon in the chart. Here we go, moon, and 5, it means Leo. Then of course we still take a look at the sun sign, and sun, here we go, it's in Sagittarius. Here we can find it sun, and then 9 means Sagittarius. And what a surprise, right? On the 1st of January, the sun is still in Sagittarius. And if we look at degrees, then you could see it's just 16 degrees out of 30. So it's like in the middle of the zodiac sign. And even with this small knowledge, we can already tell a lot about the personality. Moon in Leo, sun in Sagittarius, both zodiac signs are fire signs, and this person will have quite a personality with a lot of temper, will be a very charismatic, very ambitious person, with a lot of fire within, very passionate, and I would say it's a natural born leader. So yeah, that's already explains a lot and like draws us an image of what kind of person we are dealing with. Next thing we can discover in the chart is Atmakaraka. Atma means soul, Karaka means significator, so the planet which is a significator of the soul, or speaking with normal words, it means the planet that shows karmic task. How to find it? Look at Karaka and then you need to find AK, not AMK. This is a different one. We're looking for AK. And for you not to be mistaken, this is the planet with the biggest degree. Here it is Mercury. We see AK and it has 28 degrees. We compare to other planets, this is the biggest degree. So Mercury in this chart is Atmakaraka, and it means that the person in this life needs to learn lessons related to energy of this planet. And those talents, they are kind of like hidden within, so it's not so easy to unfold, but this is exactly what the person is supposed to do. And this explains a lot actually if we're talking about life situations, because events, they are happening for a reason. They kind of like push the person towards unfolding, towards learning how to deal with energy, how to find the balance with it, and actually how to master such skills. Then you need to check if you have or don't have retrograde planets in your chart. How to find that? You need to look if there is a letter R next to a planet. And here we have Mercury. So Mercury is retrograde in the chart of this person. You will say like, hey, there is also Rahu and Ketu, but I need to mention that Rahu and Ketu are always retrograde. So in this specific topic, we are not actually looking at them. But we're looking at other planets. Only 5 planets can go retrograde. Those are going to be Mars, Mercury, Jupiter, Venus, and Saturn. So here we have Mercury retrograde. What does it mean? Retrograde planet means that there is a karmic task related to this planet. It's quite similar to what I was explaining about Atmakaraka. And here we have a very interesting example because Mercury is Atmakaraka and retrograde planet at the same time. What does this mean? That the person wasn't really learning the lesson in the previous life, and in this life, this task is kind of doubled. So it means that the lessons, they will come in a more intense way, so they will be like more pushy, that the person just couldn't avoid but learn them. So no skipping, like the lessons will be like really hard. I don't like the word hard, but very often it explains why events are happening in a specific way. When you see such things, you're like, okay. And when you understand what is the energy, what are the qualities that you need to develop, what are the lessons that need to be learned, and then you look at your life, you're like, okay, so now it starts making sense. And when you start changing your behavior, first you start changing the way you're thinking, then the way you are acting, and then your life starts changing because you are learning. So one of the goals of our lives is to learn our karmic tasks, and here we can see what are those. Unfortunately, there are more identificators of karmic tasks. And now we are talking about Rahu and Ketu. So you could find them here, Rahu and Ketu. So Ketu is in Virgo, Rahu is in Pisces. Here we can find them in the chart. Here's Ketu, 6 means Virgo. Rahu is in Pisces, 12 means Pisces. And Ketu represents what we have brought from the previous life, something what we have mastered already, some skills, some wisdom, some mindset, something what we are very familiar with and very comfortable with. And here in the chart we have Ketu in Virgo, means such person will be very rational, very logical. Such person will like structure, will be very practical. So everything needs to be like in order. Everything needs to be thought through. Very organized person, and honestly it plays really well together with this Leo and Sagittarius. So this is a very organized leader, someone who can really give the structure and explain people how to do things. That's a great thing. But then the karmic task actually lays in the area where Rahu is located, and Rahu is in Pisces, and Pisces, it's a very intuitive, very spiritual energy, and such person will have to learn how to trust own guts, how to actually live using the feelings, using the intuition, how to rely on own sensations, which would be really hard, because you will have to rely on something uncertain, something what you cannot say, something subtle, because you cannot say is it true or not. It's just the way you feel. And for this person it will be a huge challenge, but this is something what this person is supposed to learn. And the lessons, they will come in a specific manner. They will push this person to listen more to an intuition. And again, if you don't know what's going on, it's a disaster, because you want everything to be understandable, and your whole life, your lessons, they come with like no explanation, where you just have to trust and feel. And then somehow you can channel the answer, you can get this answer, it will just come to you in a very unexpected way. But if you understand what's going on, then it's so much easier to learn lessons, and it's so much easier to nail your karmic task. And now let's look at a different example. Let's say we know the time of birth, and let's do it, for example, 5:30 p.m. Let's take a look. What do we have here? The moon is still in Leo. Sun is still in Sagittarius. Atmakaraka is still Mercury. And we have only one retrograde planet, which is still Mercury. Ketu is in Virgo. Rahu is in Pisces. So we see it is similar to our previous example. In some situations there will be difference, but in most of the cases it will stay the same. But now what we can discover, an important thing, we can discover a rising sign or ascendant. So ascendant is Cancer. And if we look here, this is the first house, and we see small number 4, it means Cancer. And this is already an interesting situation. This person will have a sort of inner conflict, because imagine, Moon Leo, Sun Sagittarius is like fiery leadership energy, and rising Cancer. And Cancer, it's a very shy energy. It's a non-conflict energy. Such person would rather not do. There is not enough braveness. Mars is debilitating in Cancer, so there is no braveness. Ambitions, they are not so big. And as I said, such person would rather hide, maybe spend some cozy time at home with the family, something like that. They would love to delve more into inner world, rather deal with the outer world. So this person feel more comfortable and more safe at home, rather to be somewhere out in society. I mean, like in society, presenting oneself. This person still will be communicative. And imagine, like one part is saying, let's go and get it, and the other part is like, maybe we just stay at home. And they're like, no, we need to get this achievement. And it's like, but I'm not sure that we can do it. Like maybe we are not really capable. And this inner conflict, it's quite a problem in many situations. And sometimes for people, it's really hard to understand what's going on. But when you see things laid out this way, you really nail it. And the goal here is to find harmony with all the parts of the personality, because in some situations you actually really need to be this strong, ambitious person with a lot of willpower, who will just go and get it, who will inspire others. And in other moments it would be really nice to be a sensitive person who cares and who would have more of this soulful connections and deeper conversations and stuff. So actually this could be a really great leader who feels other people if all these parts of personality are playing friendly with each other. But as I said, it could also turn into a little inner conflict. So it depends how you master your personality and what kind of masterpiece you can create out of it. And of course, one of the most important things is the knowledge about planet placements in your chart. And you need to remember that the houses are always stay at the same place. And here's going to be the first house, this top square. Then here's the second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth, ninth, 10th, 11th, and 12th. And if you're looking at small numbers, those are zodiac signs. Remember, 4 means Cancer, 5 means Leo, 6 means Virgo, and so on. So when we are talking about houses, you literally need to remember where they are. But you can just remember the first house, it's this top square, and from there you can just calculate 1, 2, 3, 4, and so on. After a while, you will just remember where each house is located. And from there, you would already know in which house, which planets are situated. Remember, I told you that your moon chart is also very important. Then you can look at this square and you could see that it's saying moon. So this is your moon chart. And you see, moon is in Leo. And if we check the other example, same, moon is in Leo. So moon chart means that your moon is located in the first house. In most of the cases, the chart is going to stay the same during the day. But sometimes moon can change the zodiac sign during the day. So then you need to be more specific about the time of your birth. But as I said, in most of the cases, moon chart is going to be the same, and you still can make some readings and some analysis based on your moon chart. Houses are going to be the same. Remember, this is the first house, second, third, and so on. All 12, you're going, how it's called? Clock counterwise, right? Okay, I hope this was interesting and simple enough. And now you know how your chart looks like precisely. And if you feel like sharing, please let me know what is your rising sign, moon sign, sun sign. Maybe there were surprises there. What about your karmic tasks? If you have retrograde planets in your chart or maybe not. What is your Atmakaraka? Where your Rahu and Ketu are located? I would be really curious to learn a little bit more about you. And thank you very much for your attention. Namaste.